was in our final, but took a slam in practice to his tailbone, went to the hospital, was evaluated. He said he compressed his lower back. But how awesome is it that he didn't go back to the hotel and put himself on ice. He came right back here because he is a skateboard fan. He wants to see what goes down in this final with the rest of these fans here in the Jobbing.com arena. Soundmaster Kayla here, joined by Felix Arguelles. This is the big section, Felix. What does it take to get the big money?
I'm going to tell you one thing it's going to take in this big section is big pop. That hubba rail is almost a foot taller than any feature we've ever had in the big section. The stairs are a little bit longer. The set is staged for some big, gnarly skateboarding. Risk equals reward. This is Street League Skateboarding, DC Pro Tour, fueled by Monster Energy. I hope they all took a sip before the big section.
And there you see our start list. Shane O'Neill, Billy Marks, Paul Rodriguez, Chris Cole, Ryan Sheckler, and Nyjah Huston. Again, in Kansas City, it came down to 4 different skaters having a chance to win on their final attempt. Oh, this is going to be something else as Shane O'Neill in first.
Trying to set it off switch in Shane O'Neill style, stoic switch flip attempt.
5 attempts at a score. We continue to accumulate the scores. I'm sorry, 7 attempts now as we move forward in the big section. What's your strategy?
Let it rip. That DC cam right there puts you all up in under Billy Marks thanks to Chase, and you really see what it looks like in a skateboarding video to have a crook grind right up in your grill.
Now you said to let it rip in 7 attempts. Do you want to put something under your belt and then consistently go bigger? What's the mindset?
I think in this big section everything is so critical. I don't know if there's a safe move to be done here, Sal. I think these guys all know what they can do, and this is just time to do what you can do down the stairs and then step up what you normally do onto one of these hubbas, because it's definitely taller than anything you've ever skated.
Oh my gosh. Chris Cole in the big section lands 69% of his tricks. And he just showed you right there that consistency.
I mean, that whole Zero crew, this is what they live for, those big gnarly hubbas and stuff. Somebody else who lives for that big stuff is Ryan Sheckler.
And a big score, 7.3.
Look at that, looking so comfortable up there with a backside Smith grind.
Well, the story last season, the champion, Nyjah Huston. First 2 events, Nyjah Huston with the win. Can Sheckler or Chris Cole finally put an end and say, stop it for a minute, it's our turn? Nyjah's going to see right now about that.
Starts off in classic Nyjah form with the perfect hard flip. Now, in the past, Ryan's consistency has been a little bit low, but he's totally shaked those vibes now, and he's on point today.
All right, well, this winning formula today in the big section, Monster's winning formula, fearless approach for the big tricks. You cannot play it safe, and you have to have the ability to skate an oversized obstacle and landing tricks when it matters most. When these guys showed up Wednesday and Thursday into the arena, they were visibly intimidated by this section. This is the biggest hubba that Rob says has ever been skated in competition. These guys have stepped up to the plate and progressed.
You know what's half the guys that walked in here were a bit disheartened, and then half the guys that walked in here were really excited, and 4 of the guys up there are the guys that were really excited when they saw that hubba.
Isn't that interesting?
Shows.
The man from Melbourne, Australia.
You would never know what he's thinking.
Shane, yeah, he does not give you a clue.
Oh.
If Shane O'Neill was a professional poker player, you'd be bummed.
He definitely would have needed the sunglasses,
yeah,
that's for sure.
No sunglasses needed, just stone face.
You know, watching Shane O'Neill miss a switch flip is so strange. It's almost like watching Paul miss a switch flip. It just doesn't really happen. Or Billy Marks miss a caballero. It shows you how big this section actually is. Paul's looking really focused right now. There's that Paul Rodriguez switch flip I told you about. That thing hits his feet, and you can just let him go off of anything. He's just gonna drop, land, compress, perfect P-Rod style.
Again, he was
6.7.
Was injured yesterday, showing no signs of it today. Chris Cole has got one make.
Oh man, that hub is just not big enough for Chris Cole. Spartan out there.
Maybe he actually was in 300.
I don't know. I'm not going to say to take his shirt off, but
7.4. 2 big scores. As you see, Paul Rodriguez's switch flip. Cole making the charge for that top spot. 2 big makes. Here comes Shekels.
oh man, perfect 360 flip. This is an incredible final. All these guys are also going to be in the final in New Jersey.
6.3 for Sheckler.
Man, Sal.
Now he's in first place. Nigel bumped into second.
Let's start that first place shuffle. Oh my gosh. Once questionable whether Nigel Houston was going to be able to skate these hubbas, that myth has been shattered with a fearless backside tail slide. Turning your back to that hubba, Sal, I mean, I call it a death sentence.
You can see.
Look at that. Blind for a second. Perfect backside tail slide.
And there's consequences to be paid if you don't come out of that correctly.
Oh, man, you don't want to leave a leg up there, Sal. You don't want to think the ground's a lot closer than it is and land early. You'll jam a knee.
Shane O'Neill still unable to get a make here in the big section. But as you can see on the top of your screen, it is a 3-man race.
You know, we got to keep an eye on Nigel and Sheckler, who's going to be the first person to bail. Billy Marks stuffing it right there.
Saying, don't forget about me.
Oh, yeah. He's always comfortable in the big section. 6.5. We got 3 guys up there, top 3 spots, flawless in the big section. Ooh, Paul just lost that switch heel flip right there. Stayed a little vertical on him. He needed it to level out to get his back foot on there again.
It's all about,
just didn't happen.
It's all about these big 3 right now. Chris Cole, can he consistently stay in the 7-point range and above?
Chris Cole's like, Nigel, I got a back tail too, buddy. Such a scary move on such a high obstacle.
And they give him a 6.6 for that one.
What Sheckler got.
Oh!
Backside lip slide. You saw him compress when he came off that hub. There's like a 4-foot drop at the end of that hub, a 3.5 foot. He had to compress with so much pressure. 6.9. Amazing. Sheckler's in rare form. He wants to hold on to that top spot, Sal. Has to ollie so high to get over that. Locks in that backside lip slide. Now, you know what? That hub is so wide. It's taking up a lot of space between both those trucks. He really had to lift that to get off of there.
Oh, man. Sheckler in first. 58.2. Nigel Houston needs a 4.2.
I just watched Nigel exhale. It was almost like emotion. Oh, my. I take that back. Oh, my God. Ice cold. Ice cold. Backside 180 nose grind.
And just like that, Nigel back in the lead.
Look at the smirk.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Is this street league or is this a tennis match?
I have no idea. Can Cole come from behind? Sheckler knocking on the door with that big backside lip slide, but this is the man, Nigel Houston, going for 3.